And tonight, the Ghana Meteorological Agency is warning airlines flying to Ghana, saying they are doing so at their own risk. According to them, they have halted the sending of synoptic data on the country's weather that facilitates flight movement. Workers of the Ghana Meteorological Agency yesterday withdrew their services over poor conditions of service. According to the staff, the government has failed to respond to their resolution presented to the Communications and Digitalization Ministry on January 5, which enumerates the issues that must be addressed. Director of Forecasting and Synoptic Meteorology at GMET, Porto Fitete, says the absence of such data will affect flight movement.
Management meeting with the union and then the deputy minister when I came here. So I hope that by the close of the day, something fruitful will come out of it, because the union put certain things, and if those demands, some of them can be met, some of them maybe from Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday going. The data is to observe all the weather parameters: pressure, relative humidity, sunshine, dew point, sunshine duration, solar radiation, incoming radiation, soil temperature, and almost all the weather parameters that you can think of. We need to observe it, and the observer or the technical officer need to record very dire consequences, because we are part of World Meteorological Organization of UN, and it is mandatory on us to observe the weather and then report the weather every 3 hours throughout the country. So every 3 hourly, there is what we call synoptic data that we observed, we record, and then we push into the global system. And if they are not working, we'll lose data for that, and the whole world will also suffer. It is very dire consequence. In certain places, certain airlines cannot even come, because when you come currently, you are doing so at your own risk. Our men are not providing that service. Wherever they are getting the service from, we don't know. But if they are doing so, they are doing so at their own risk. If something happens, we don't have any document to go and back them with.
Well, Nanaya Akwada is the Executive Director of the Bureau of Public Safety. He's joining us now via Zoom. First of all, Nanaya Akwada, how much of a worry should this be?
Well, I hope my mic is on. Good evening to your viewers. I think that data for flight, landing, and takeoff is very critical to aviation, operations. But as to whether the public should be worried over the strike of the Meteo Department, I think that there's a lot that we need to consider. I think about 3 or so years ago, when we had the opportunity to engage with the Ghana Civil Aviation, one of the that we came across was the Aviation Services Department, where they provide air traffic control information. They relay information to incoming flights and outgoing flights. We also came across this small section where they provide a semblance of some meteo services. You'll agree with me that if the whole of today flights are taken off and landing, then there must be some redundant, set up somewhere to provide the Ghana Civil Aviation, with meteo data. And as far as we are concerned, that aspect of the aviation department has been activated now, at least to provide data for the few days that, hopefully, the few days that the Meteo Department will be off.
What more safety measures are to be considered in the interim? At least you're telling us of one.
Well, I think in the interim, I believe that the Ghana Civil Aviation may be relying on data provided by their Meteo Services Department, but I do not know how long this can be sustainable. Even though I believe that, the Ghana Civil Aviation is a very resource, authority. And so there's a possibility that they can actually hold the fort for a long time. But we also know that the Meteorological Services Department is the department that is mandated to provide such data for aviation operations. And so I do not know how long the Ghana Civil Aviation will have to provide data for itself without the Meteor Services Department taking them home.
And if
but
you...
in the interim, right. I think that the traveling public, in the interim, I think that there is no cause for the traveling public.
And if you pay close attention to what's been happening, the Kotoka International Airport has been in the news in recent times over varied reasons. Do these developments have a possibility of really affecting safety standards and also the issue about public confidence?
Yes and no. You see, we have flights taking off from Ghana directly into some very sensitive airspaces. I'm talking spaces like the United States. We have a direct flight from Ghana to US, a direct flight from Ghana to France, from Ghana to UK, Germany, and the like. These are big, sensitive spaces whose spaces are really, really regulated. And so incidents in recent times, I do not think they have a good, it's good for development. We may, if we are not careful, we may come under some pressure to ensure that our spaces are really safe and secure to be able to fly into other spaces. We said, I've discussed a couple of people privately, that if we are not careful to manage the issues involving the Ghana Airport Company versus other private persons very well, and we catch the eyes of the FAA and its counterparts across other states, we may really come under a lot of pressure, and it will affect the traveling public. And so I'm happy that within the shortest possible time, they are bringing matters, to closure in very civil ways, so that we can continue to put out that integrity and that sense of safety, around our airport.
Obviously, we need solutions. What are your expectations from the relevant authorities
regarding
solving this issue? Because obviously, the staff are on strike as we speak.
Well, it's unfortunate that the Ghana Meteor Department strike is being looked at in the light of only aviation. But there are other aspects that they provide services for. And for instance, the Marine, they provide services for the Marine. None of us want to wake up tomorrow morning to the news that a group of fishermen who went out have been caught off guard under bad weather. We do not want to wake up to see that the time that our farmers should have planted, based on the weather for the year, they missed it because Meteor Services Department was on strike. And so it's absolutely important that the authorities, listen to their concerns and if possible, possibly solve their problems for them, because in the long term, it may have severe consequences for all the areas that we said, including aviation, which now we believe that they are providing data services for themselves.
Nana Yawakwada, I'm grateful for your time on Joy News Prime. Now,